The only way that the PC gamers, polygons, and Kotakus of the industry survive is because they are access media. They gain early access because they have shilled for certain products in the past, and certain companies do end up trusting them. Unfortunately, this is why gamers do not trust them anymore and why they are becoming more irrelevant than ever. But over the past couple of weeks, we have heard a lot of controversy surrounding Borderlands 4. Randy Pitchford basically said if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to monetarily support this game, and we all thought that it was going to go up to 80, and now we know that it's not, though the access media is saying after all of the anger and noise and the drama, you guys are, I guess, getting what you want, even though they've proven that they are shilling for this game because they've gotten hands-on previews. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I am a firm believer that the access media in this industry, the gaming media, should be for gamers first and foremost. They should be defending us when there are, CEOs and executives saying, F you guys, pay more money. I think that the access media should be defending us when there are predatory microtransactions and we are fighting back against them. I believe that they should go into reviews completely unbiased, but we know that that's just not the case. And unfortunately, it looks like it's only really getting worse, especially with Borderlands 4, because just a few weeks ago, a lot of gamers were really furious at Randy Pitchford for saying, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to monetarily support BL4, even if it is $80. And now they're putting out the article saying, you guys overreacted and you were mad over nothing and you finally got your way, I guess, sounding like whiny little brats, when we also know that this same exact outlet is getting hands-on previews for this game. So of course they're going to bury gamers. This is why we don't trust them anymore, because as soon as they can make a few extra bucks, they will shill for a company and they will trash gamers if it means getting a big fat pay bonus. So this article starts off with saying, after weeks of hand-wringing, outrage, and ill-advised social media posts, aw man, gamers are getting their way. Borderlands 4 pre-orders are finally live, and it is not, as some had feared, an $80 game. But if you want to throw nearly double the regular price at it, there's that on the table as well. Now, I'm not as opposed to more expensive, like super deluxe editions of games. I do definitely think some of them are completely overpriced, but the idea of them for that mega fan is not a bad one. I just think that companies need to be offering enough content to warrant the price tag. Adding a couple of stickers or a keychain in a box just doesn't do it for me personally, and I know a lot of other people. But what's important here is the fact that we are finding out that the base game, the standard edition, is going to be $70, which, hey, I think is still slightly too expensive. I think that most games should be the $50 to $60 price range. 70's pushing it for a lot of experiences, and when we get to $80 being the standard, a lot of people are going to be more careful with which games they're spending their money on, and I do think that that is going to severely hurt the gaming industry. We knew that it was going to happen eventually. Nintendo just happened to be the first company to push it, and then of course like Microsoft's following. But when we look at $80, a game has to be near perfection, and there's just not a lot of hype for Borderlands 4 right now. I'm not saying that there is none at all, but I feel like the general sentiment is, I guess we'll see how it is when it comes out. Like, I don't see a lot of super fans talking about this, except for the really insulting Randy Pitchford comments, which did damage this game's image. Now, of course, he is using this as a way to boast now, saying, oh, this is such big news, and they're showing you that your opinion matters, so please show them by purchasing the game. Now, I think that he could have approached this entire situation differently from the get-go weeks ago, when he had went on his rant about how, he used to have to pay $80 for games, and this is just the standard, and it's not his decision. But the way that the access media is painting the situation as, oh, they're such good guys and you guys were the ones that were giving them headaches, is just so terrible, because without us, you wouldn't have anybody reading your trash articles. You wouldn't have a job, so you'd think that they'd show us a shred of respect, but of course they don't. It says cynics and conspiracy theorists might pause a moment to wonder if perhaps all this uproar over a price increase touched off when Pitchford dismissed concerns about the $80 price tag because a real fan will just shut up and buy it anyway, was in fact a calculated move aimed at driving goodwill in hopes of boosting pre-orders. Just because something is a conspiracy theory doesn't mean that it's wrong. I hate to be that person putting on my tinfoil hat, but I do genuinely believe that a lot of companies right now are appearing to make one move and then they're doing something completely different so that they appear to be the good guys. Every company wants as much goodwill as CD Projekt Red gained over Cyberpunk 2077. They put years of work and effort into it, and then their game was completely turned around. They made so much money. Their game was the highest rated the year that it came out, well, the DLC, and people have a lot of faith in them. No Man's Sky, oh my god, the biggest turnaround in gaming history. That's all we talk about when we talk about No Man's Sky, is they've done such a good job. I have put on my tinfoil hat lately because of Mind's Eye. I genuinely feel like they put out a game that was fucking trash, and then they're gonna take years and years of work and effort and hopefully turn it around, or that's what they are thinking is going to happen. But it's hard to trust a company when it comes to the quality of a game when it comes out and it's trash. Mind's Eye came out and it was buggy, broken. How do you not know that that's the state of your game when it's time to release? And when it comes to price tags, yeah, people are very upset over $80. So if you appear to be the good guy in the industry who's not going to charge 80 and you're going to charge 70, well, you might gain a few extra sales because people feel like they're being listened to. People just want to feel like they're being listened to, and that's not happening a lot in the industry right now. But of course, they're going to call us, cynics and conspiracy theorists. It said, regardless, all that prior controversy doesn't seem to have hurt the cause because for the most part, Borderlands fans seem happy with the pricing. There are expressions of gratitude here and there for keeping the price at 70, and a few posts to go as far as to credit the community blowback for forcing Take-Two to hold the line on price. I do not think that that's the case overall. I think that when GTA 6 comes out, it is going to be $100, but it's just really disappointing to see this happening yet again. This is why we don't trust the access media. And of course, there's several outlets right now that are pushing this. Oh, Borderlands 4 won't be $80 at all, and this is such a big win for gamers. You also have Kotaku saying Borderlands 4 reveals $70 price tag, proving all the drama was for nothing when it's really just people standing up for themselves and saying this is where we draw a line. It truly is like they've put out these articles to cope saying it was never meant to be $80 and you guys blew it all out of proportion because they can't fathom the idea that gamers actually got something changed. If that is the case, that is phenomenal. I'm glad that so many people spoke up about how unhappy they were, and I am happy to see that Borderlands 4 is only going to be 70 instead of 80. Not that 70 is still cheap, it really isn't, but 70 is still technically better than 80, but a lot of people are wrecking Kotaku and PC Gamer and Polygon over this. Savvy said, I thought you guys were anti-corpo greed, or what's today's marching orders? They do enough DEI and virtuing that you'll overlook poor working conditions, higher up greed, and bigger price tags? It's true. There was a time where you represented the voice of gamers. It has not been for a very long time. Are you guys kidding? It's still 70? This is so toxic. They'll go from 60 to 80, then bump it down to 70. Like they did us a favor. Kill me, bro. So I'll be keeping my eye on this, but as of right now, the shills are definitely shilling, saying you guys have blown everything out of proportion and $80 isn't even really that big of a deal. And the 70 price tag proves all the drama was for nothing, which only makes the access media look worse. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.